And hello everyone, I am at Burning Man 2025, and the last time I was here was 2 years ago, and so far it seems pretty similar to my last trip here, and it even got rained out the last couple of days. However, this afternoon is pretty nice out, and all of the rain has dried and the gates are open and the roads are passable. And I am on Esplanade Street in front of the Playa info booth, and I could point out a few of the landmarks. Well, I guess the only landmark that I know of really is the man right there that is in the center, and that is going to burn, I believe, on Saturday night. And this is the main event. This is the man himself, and I would say that that platform structure is probably about 2-3 stories tall. However, the actual man, it looks to be downsized a bit from the last time I was here. However, that's still probably about 40-50 feet to the top, and then they have this long ramp here where you could access the patio area. And this is scheduled to burn, I believe, Saturday night. And how this is going to look is there's going to be thousands of people just in a circle around the man as he burns. And then also the next night on Sunday, I believe the temple, which is somewhere out here in the desert, is going to burn the following night. And I think it's probably this building here that's directly behind the man. This is the temple, and from what I understand, and I could be wrong about this, is that it is a general purpose temple that is open to all religions: Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, and also people apparently post notes to dead loved ones, and I guess whoever happens to be in their prayers, and this will be burned right after the man. This is what Burning Man looks like at night. There's lots of lights and pyrotechnics there in the distance, and the spot where I'm at right now, this is called the Playa, or basically it's out in the desert, an open space area, and off in the distance there, that would be the man, the Burning Man, and that's what's going to burn on Saturday night there in the center. And basically people just come out here to view the art cars that just drive around the Playa. Basically they're just kind of going in circles. I think most people in general are just either going in circles or maybe from one side of Burning Man to the other. And there's a lot of different stuff going on out here. The bars along Esplanade Street, which is directly ahead, they all serve free drinks to everyone, and they have all kinds of, I don't know, various activities going on, music and whatnot. But this just gives you a general idea of how the Playa looks like at night. This is the Thunder Dome, which appears to be a rather popular attraction. There must be at least 100 people just standing around this dome, and they also have a lot of people up on the structure itself. However, I'm not sure what is going on inside. It looks like there's some sort of competition going on. But I think people just like the chaos of the whole event, and I think this might be one of the better representations of Burning Man, as this is certainly one of the more popular attractions. However, I'm probably not going to brave walking through the crowd to find out what's going on inside there. I doubt it's even worthwhile to spend the time to do that. It's probably just people kind of just monkeying around in there, and hopefully everybody is safe. And the people that are climbing up on the side of the dome, it seems like every year, almost every year, somebody falls off one of these structures, and hopefully that doesn't happen. But it all looks, I don't know, it looks a little bit sketchy with people drinking and climbing up on tall buildings. Hopefully they have a way to make sure that no one gets hurt here. I am now at the center camp, and much like the name implies, this camp is pretty much at the center of the Burning Man event. It is located on the 6 o'clock on the dial of the map or whatnot. Anyhow, center camp is a good place to hold public events, and let's see what's going on here. Sometimes they'll have a guest speaker of just almost any topic, and there's just almost something going on here. Yeah, it looks like they have some art exhibits, communal effort, immediacy, and the Spank Bank. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with all of these, but I guess some are self-explanatory. And it looks like there is a guest speaker today. Let me see who they have.
So I'd like to play. Oops, sorry.
Well, looks like they have a couple guest speakers. Here's one.
Definitely mediocre. And I did them again this year. I've done a couple of sets again at like 1 or 2 in the morning.
And again, I'm not sure what these seminars or whatnot are about, but they do have a calendar that you could double check and see what's going on. I don't have access to it at the moment. And this long line here would be for the free snow cones. I might try one later on if the line gets a little shorter. I almost forgot this topic: restrooms at Burning Man. And I can't forget walking down this street, as the smell is just that bad. But each major street will have at some point rows of these porta pods set up, and hopefully they are being maintained, as in pumped out and cleaned once in a while. However, they often neglect to do that, and I think that's the case with some of these, because the smell is just, it's pretty bad. But this is most people's restrooms, or if you have a luxury RV or camper van or whatnot, that's a nice thing to have, so you don't have to deal with this. And speaking about not having to deal with the porta pods, these pump trucks you see quite often, they go around Burning Man pumping out people's RV and storage tanks, and they also are supposed to maintain the porta pods, which, like I said, they don't always do. And apparently he's probably going to service the paying customers first, as in the RVs, but hopefully at some point they'll get to these, because the smell is just awful. Free food at Burning Man. This is Wally's Cowboy Kitchen, and it looks like they are serving up steak tortillas, and it seems like it's a rather popular idea, as the line stretches almost all the way around the block. This could be one of the Burning Man gas stations, as it looks like they have enough gasoline to power at least a fleet of vehicles, or it could be gasoline for this mutant vehicle with the rocket engine. Not sure what the gas mileage is on that, but that's a neat looking vehicle. A mobile church. This is what Burning Man needs, and this is a really neat art car. They have this church, looks like it's just on the back of a kind of a converted semi-truck, and then it has a deck there on top that they're lowering the sofa down. But this is probably one of my favorite art cars so far this week. Camp Arctica, this is where people go to get their ice. However, unlike a lot of other stuff at Burning Man, this is not free. A 10-pound block of ice is $7, which is not a bad deal. So you could basically come here with just one cooler and just keep getting ice to keep everything fresh. And next door is the Cereal Thrillers. That looks to be closed. Thrift stores on the Playa. This is the Lady Tail Lights, and it looks to be mostly a women's lingerie, women's clothing. And the best thing about thrift stores here is everything is free. It's of course a gifting economy. However, I don't need any women's lingerie at the moment, so have to give this one a pass. This is one of the sound camps on the Playa. This is called Playground. If you're into techno music or whatnot. Now at the Snarky Marquet Turds of Wisdom Camp, and they have these little wisdom quotes such as "shaved my balls for this," and "how does a dragon blow out candles?" Every once in a while you need to look in the mirror and say thanks for all the hand jobs. I'm not sure about the dragon part. And here's one of the art cars. Looks like a converted school bus with some people hanging off the back. Interesting. Transportation at Burning Man. They have these what they call burner buses that make runs between Black Rock City, which is where we are at now, and the Reno airport. And then they also have a bus that goes to San Francisco as well, which I believe picks up around the corner here. And it is actually Saturday, so the event is still going for another 2 days. However, it looks like quite a few people are making the exodus out of Burning Man early. And also, one other thing I like to point out about these buses is that unlike the gifting economy of Burning Man, where you get free treats, free drinks and whatnot, a trip on one of these buses is rather expensive. A one-way trip to the Reno airport is $205, which I consider to be rather expensive for a non-profit entity. Somebody is certainly making a ton of money on these bus trips. Right, take that. Dance lessons at Burning Man. This is called the Partner Dance Adventures, and it looks like they're having one of their class sessions at the moment.
I say that because I saw some of you fuck it up. That's why I'm telling you. Oh, let's.
This is Camp Dusty Beavers, and they're serving maple whiskey on crushed ice. Looks like an interesting treat. Might pass on this. I'm not really a whiskey drinker myself. And they even have some of the same art cars that they had in previous years. I've definitely seen this repurposed yacht or fishing boat before, and it looks to be self-propelled. At first I thought it was on like a little truck trailer, or rather a big truck trailer, but it looks like it's completely drivable, and it's still interesting art car to see. And it looks like everyone here might be lined up to I don't know, get their information processed by the Burning Man DMV. This looks to be rather governmental. This ride is called the Gyro. It looks like that'd be rather dizzying. However, she looks like she's having fun there. Maybe. Not sure if I want to do that though. A giant pyramid out in the middle of the desert, or actually there's two pyramids. These look really neat. I have no idea what's inside of them, so let's go in and check them out.
2010 comes through appreciation, conversational purpose, and then this pathway of objective observation, feelings.
And this is a close-up of the smaller of the two pyramids, and those do in fact look like some sort of air conditioning or cooling units, and there's three rather large ones there, so they want to keep this pyramid pretty cool apparently. It is now Saturday, the day of the burn, when the man is supposed to burn tonight. And a lot of these camps are packing it up and getting ready to leave. And also, as you could probably tell, there's a lot of law enforcement here at Burning Man. It's not unusual to see a ranger truck. I believe that's a BLM forest ranger, and they also have the local sheriff and all kinds of law enforcement out here. So it feels pretty safe for being out in the middle of the desert. But anyhow, getting back to the scheduled burn tonight, the man is going to burn, I believe, around 9 p.m. and that's pretty much the end of the event. A lot of people will be leaving after that, and then they have what is called the temple burn, which is on Sunday, and that would be the official end of it. But most people will start leaving either before the man burns or right after. And if you wait too late to leave until Monday, it's just going to be rather difficult to exit, as there's probably going to be about 50,000 people that are basically doing the same thing. And this camp has free sunscreen. The sign says put it on, and it looks like they have several different varieties here, so that's very convenient. Or how about having a party in a giant lamb? This is a interesting art car. Not a whole lot of people here now. It's still the heat of the day, but later on in the evening this will fill up a lot more. It is now Saturday night, and the man is scheduled to burn shortly, and that would be the neon statue that is directly in the center. And it looks like what they did is to make a circle around the man with all these different art cars that are blasting like 100 different kinds of music, and then everyone is parking their bicycles outside of the circle, and then they just walk in. However, it's a little bit chaotic and crowded, so this is probably about as close as I'm gonna get. I'm maybe, I would estimate 2-3 blocks from the actual man right there, so I'm not really too close, but still have a decent view from out here. And there's a lot of other people that are viewing from this distance or even further, and looks like they're gonna have a nice fireworks show. And then it's probably going to take a while for the man to catch fire. I believe it takes about 10 to 15 minutes. I'm not really sure if they use a accelerant or not, such as gasoline or kerosene, something safer hopefully. And that is it, folks. Most of the man has burned and the structure is down. just some leftover fire that's on the base of what was left, and people are now leaving en masse. Should be interesting. Should be pretty interesting to see how the traffic is like this year, trying to exit the event. I would imagine right now there's probably at least a 3-4 hour wait. And if you ever wonder how safe the event is, there are a lot of these forest ranger trucks just parked outside of the burn, as well as even inside of the circle that I was explaining earlier. So overall, it feels like you know, if there's any issues going on, the law enforcement would be able to address those fairly quickly. But then again, you are out in the middle of the desert, and it is a rather large area to cover, but it's just good to know that they do have a lot of law enforcement out here. And if you wonder what other purpose the lights serve on bikes as well as people, is for safety reasons, just so people can see each other. However, it's still a little bit dangerous, as some people are going pretty fast out here, and who knows if they've been drinking or even worse, doing drugs. So you still got to watch out for everyone. It is now Sunday, which is the last day of Burning Man, and the event has emptied out quite a bit. I'd say about maybe a quarter of the people have already left, and there is just one more scheduled burn, which is tonight at the temple, I believe is what they call it. And most camps have started packing up. Some have already finished their packing, and not only do they have to pack up what they brought out here, but then a lot of these camps will have to go through their campgrounds with like rakes to make sure that they get every little thing, because if they don't, they could get written up by the Burning Man organization for littering the Playa, which is not good for them. So it's not unusual to see people just really going through their camp very meticulously. And I guess in a lot of ways that is good, so there's no litter that's left behind, but it's almost like a surgical procedure. And anyhow, as it is the last day, I am getting ready to leave myself, and I do have to say it was a interesting event. Really not a whole lot different from the first time I was here, but if you have extra time and $700 burning a hole in your pocket, it's a rather interesting experience. Burning Man is now officially over. It is Monday, September 2nd. However, there's still quite a few campers here. I would estimate that maybe about a third of people have already packed up and left, and everyone else is still packing up. And some of these camps still have quite a bit of work to do, not only packing up their camps, but also their art installations out in the desert. Some of them are larger than others, such as the giant pyramid, which can't really see now because the dust storm seems to like to kick up out here on the Playa, kind of in the middle of this dry lake area. And then some of these other art installations, I'm not sure if this was really like much to begin with. It looks just kind of like a trash heap, but anyhow, all this stuff will have to be collected and sorted, and they're probably like packing stuff in these truck trailers, or they also have these large cargo containers too. And then when they're done collecting everything, they have to go through each camp and make sure it's all neat and clean. And anyhow, so my guess is that a lot of these people will probably be here for at least another week or two. And so this might almost be like a part-time job for some people, just coming out here and helping set the camps up and then take them down when Burning Man is over. And anyhow, that will conclude my YouTube video of Burning Man 2025. and thank you for watching.